I called off the wedding because he was cheap. I, 31 female, struggle with my fiance's 32 male frugalness and not sure if I want to marry him anymore after a 3-year relationship. I met my fiance 3 years ago. He came out of an abusive marriage just 2 years before we met. One of his ex's things was financial. She bled him dry, made him buy expensive jewelry only to give it away or break it after an argument. Designer shoes, clothes, big house, cars, Caribbean trips, you name it, she made him pay for it. She also took him to the cleaners in the divorce. However, my fiance is very well off. He makes far over 6 figures, almost 7. On top of that, he inherited a few million from his grandfather, and his parents gifted him and his siblings a few cool millions. So yes, the financial was bad, but he did not suffer financially. He has more money than he will ever need. So last year, I moved into his house. I did not pay rent, but I split the bills and bought food. I pay for my own clothes and jewelry. I have a good job and I can take care of myself. However, things have been taking a turn for the worse and I feel miserable. His house was empty when I moved in. He had hand-me-down furniture, maybe 3 forks and 2 knives. He wouldn't put on the heating, so the house felt cold and moldy. He has no curtains, no decorations. His ex took everything, not bolted down, and he was too cheap to replace it. Just imagine a $1 million house like that. I'm grateful that I can live in this house. It's something I could never afford myself, but I didn't want to live in squalor. So I bought some kitchen supplies, some furniture, but at some point I realized I was dipping in my savings all the time and he did nothing. I looked into curtains, but those things are expensive. His house has so many windows, it's crazy. I didn't want to pay for this anymore. I told him I needed a fund to furnish the house. He blew up at me that I was just with him for his money. Furnishing the house is basic necessities. The fact is, if we break up, I have nothing. The house isn't mine. If I spend all my savings on his house, I will be left with absolutely nothing. He wants a prenup and I'm fine with that, but I can't help but feel used. Next to that, I'm jealous of his ex-wife. I feel like she got treated and I am neglected. He proposed to his ex on a cruise with a $10,000 white gold diamond ring. I got the rhodium-plated Swarovski stuff that might cost like $100. The proposal was at a picnic in the park I organized, paid for groceries, and slaved in the kitchen for. I almost said no out of pure disappointment. Oh, hell no, buddy. Like, listen, I can understand he feels some type of way because of how his ex treated him, but like, that doesn't mean that all people are like that. He could be acting out of like a I need to protect myself kind of thing. At the same time, if you want a partner, there's not that many people that are willing to take the bare minimum. However, I'm afraid to bring it up and be called a gold digger. I don't want to be funding a millionaire's lifestyle. He loves everything as long as I pay for it. As soon as he has to pay for it, it's frivolous and unnecessary. I can live like a poor person by myself. At least the fact that there are literal millions lying around doesn't hang over me to bum me out. And I would just be paying for my own lifestyle. Yeah, that resentment would build up for sure, dude. Would I be the a-hole for calling off a wedding purely for financial reasons? Because I love this man, but I imagine our cheap wedding in contrast to his ex, her extravaganza. Will our future kids be able to have some luxuries, or only if I pay for it? What if I ever became a stay-at-home mom? Will I have to beg to put the heating on? I wouldn't necessarily say that you're breaking up with him over money. I feel like at this point he's kind of financially abusing you. It's one thing if you expect a luxurious lifestyle and all the bells and whistles, but you're just asking for basic necessities. And furthermore, you've also contributed. I think it's only natural for you to expect him to also contribute and to treat you with respect. So she answered some questions in the comments. His family and friends told me separate stories of the that they witnessed. So it's like the abuse from the ex-wife is not made up. Not only did it confirm it, it showed me she was way more terrible than I thought, like stealing heirloom jewelry of his grandma with Alzheimer's right after she was widowed, pretending she was gifted these things even though everyone knew grandma hated her guts. Okay, so she was horrible, and like understandably, he's going to have a hard time trusting people, okay? But you can't be bringing baggage from your previous relationship into your new one. I'm not trying to force a lifestyle in him where he was previously happy. He told me prior to moving in that he left his house like this because he was depressed after his wife took everything, even the curtains. That makes him sad and he wants a cozy home. He just didn't know where to start. His house is paid off thanks to his granddad. He isn't actually spending much on utilities. House is very well isolated, has solar panels. It's weird to see how cheap being rich really is. I'm not asking for designer furniture. IKEA all the way, and I have refurbished secondhand furniture myself. I'm actually pretty thrifty. I see where my jealousy over the ex and her lifestyle might have triggered some people. Let me explain. A $10,000 ring is insane and stupid to me. I don't want that because I would fear losing it every day. However, it almost feels like for her, he did put in the effort, wanted to give her what made her happy, put effort and thought into it. With me, it almost feels like he wants to prove how little he can give me. I just feel like he kind of has created this perception in his head that all women are gold diggers. And in order to protect himself, he's choosing to not give you anything. But the thing is that there are women out there. Actually, I wouldn't even say the majority, but I think most of us expect some contribution, especially when your significant other, he got money, okay? He got money. He talked about how he would see the wedding and it is cheaper than my actually financially struggling cousin, her wedding. I can't help but feel that he wants to demonstrate how cheap he can treat me. And I already feel embarrassed about the family that would be, and I feel like the discount wife. I don't like to say it, but it feels like he gets off on it to some extent. We're almost talking washing paper plates at this moment. Yes, I did discuss selling the mansion I really don't need and move into a more modest house, especially knowing this is the house his ex picked. He doesn't want to do that. He loves this house. But I feel really intimidated living in a house I could never afford. And with so many large windows, sheesh. It's almost like he's treating you how he wants to be able to treat his ex. At that point, do you just not like her? Genuinely, what does he do for you, babe? I haven't talked to him yet, but pause on the marriage and counseling is a must. I'm already looking for IC because I realize I might indeed be too much of a people pleaser, allowing him to control me with the ghost of his ex. I'm also going separate for a while. I'm looking to rent something for a few months so I can get some space. Thanks for all your comments. So this first comment is exactly what you should say to him. I know that you're afraid of being labeled a gold digger, but this is a boundary and it's an expectation, and it's not too high of an expectation, okay? You get what you think you deserve. And sometimes you have to ask for it. I don't like that you have to ask for it in the first place. That should be pretty self-explanatory. But here's what you say to him. I understand that you've had some trauma in your past and I'm really sorry that you went through that. But I can't allow you to mistreat me because of it. It burns me up inside that you gave her everything, but I have to ask for the bare minimum. I deserve to feel cherished by my partner as I have cherished you. Your trauma is not your fault. The things that you went through in life is not your fault. You are, however, responsible for how that trauma makes you treat other people. Okay, we do have an update. Ooh.